Hi, this is Audrey. Thanks for trying out the flipped classroom or the flipped webinar. On April 20th, I'll be talking about how I flip my high school classroom, and one of the tools that I use is Google Docs. If you're watching this video before the webinar, then not only will you learn how to create, share, and use Google Docs in your classroom, but you'll get an idea of what it's like to learn something at your own speed outside of the classroom, and I hope you enjoy both aspects of that. In order to create a Google Doc, you must have a Google account. This is not to be confused with a Gmail account. A Google account and a Gmail account are not quite the same thing. If you already have a Gmail account, you automatically also have a Google account. However, you do not have to have a Gmail account to create a Google account. You can create a Google account with any email address, whether it's Yahoo or what have you. Whether or not you already have an account, click here where it says Sign In. Now you can log in if you already have a Google account, or click on Sign Up if you don't have one. It's free. Simply follow the on-screen instructions to create your account. Once you've logged in, you'll be at the Google homepage, and your name should appear at the top right. You can see my name here. To get to the Google Docs homepage, click on Documents. By the way, I will probably at some point or other say GDocs, and at other times I'll say Google Docs. It's a bad habit. I apologize in advance. They both mean the same thing. Now, if my page looks different from yours, it's because I already have created a lot of Google Docs, GDocs, of my own. To start creating your own GDocs, click Create. These are all the different types of Google Docs that you can create. You can have a Google Docs document. It's very similar to a Word document. You can have a Google Docs presentation. It'll look a lot like a PowerPoint. A Google Docs spreadsheet looks a lot like Excel. And there are other types: forms, drawings, and tables. For today, select Document. By the time you get to this screen, even though you haven't saved anything and you haven't given anything a title, a Google Docs document has already been created, and it's also automatically been given the title Untitled Document. In fact, if you now want to go back and check the Google Docs homepage, which your browser probably still has open, you will see that in your documents list there is now a document owned by you called Untitled Document. Everything you do from now on will automatically be saved for you. There are save buttons that you can hit, but it's unnecessary. Let's start by giving your document a more interesting title. Double-click on Untitled Document. Type whatever title you wish, for example, my first Google Docs document, and then click OK. Once you're here, you can play around with the tools in the menu bar. If you've used Word before, these will seem very familiar. As you can see, you can have any font size, any font color, you can insert an image, and you can even format math equations and symbols. If after a while you have questions or comments for me, you can either type them directly in your document, or you can use the comment feature that is built right into all types of Google Docs. Now you can share your document with whomever you would like. Sharing in Google Docs means two things. Not only does it mean that someone else will be able to see the Google Doc that you created, but it also means that you can see who is seeing it. Click on the blue Share button to see what the current share settings are. Your window probably doesn't look the same as mine. Certainly in the second line, it shouldn't be me, it should be you. In the first line though, it tells you what the current share settings are. Mine are set to private. Click on Change to see what options there are for sharing. The first two share options, public on the web and anyone with the link, are pretty self-explanatory and they're pretty much open to anyone. If you share this way, then when someone is looking at your Google Doc, you will see them as anonymous users. However, if you share it using the private setting, since people are expected to sign in order to see your Google Doc, you will see exactly who is looking at your Google Doc. They will be identified by their sign-in information. For this time, choose the private share setting. Click in the Add People field to tell Google Docs the email addresses of everyone with whom you wish to share your Google Doc. Please type my email address in there, amix2@gmail.com. I'd love to see what you've been creating. If you happen to know the email address of anyone else who's attending the webinar, please type that in here as well. Next, click on the box to the right of that email field, and you'll see this menu. These options allow you to control exactly what the sharees can do once they open your Google Doc. For this time, please select Can Edit. Then make sure the Notify People via Email is checked. Then click Share and Save, and in the next window, Done. Some of the things that I have used Google Docs for in my classrooms are I've had students collaborate to create a memory aid using a Google Docs document. A group of teachers at Learn Quebec have collaborated to form a PowerPoint using Google Docs presentation. I also use Google Docs forms to create checklists so that I can monitor my students' progress and so that they can take responsibility for their own learning. I've also created quizzes using Google Docs forms that are self-correcting, that are there for the students to take when they're ready and they want to check their own understanding. You can see examples of all of these at my blog or at Google Docs for Educators. You'll be amazed at what you'll see. Well, thanks for trying this little experiment in flipping the classroom. I'll see you on the 20th. Or if the 20th has already come and gone, and you're watching this and you're thinking maybe you'd like to try flipping, please keep in touch with the community of flipping teachers who can easily be found on Twitter.